Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. The last time you saw me, I was in Spain doing all of this. And now that I'm back, I wanted to kind of share with you my experience while I'm doing my hair. Before I show you what this hair looks like and tell you what I'm going to do with it, I just want to preface with Spain was supposed to be more than just an adventure. It was supposed to also be a place where I was to find out if that was where I wanted to live. I got to go to beautiful beaches. I got to see the Imagine Dragons and the beautiful cathedral. I've been to Barcelona, I've never been, and some great restaurants. However, I did not get to do what I wanted and didn't pan out the way I wanted it to. And so before we get into the story time, we're gonna talk about what we're gonna do with this hair first. I got my hair dyed right before Spain, and it looks like she used a toner or dye, I don't know, but it's choppy. As you can see, like this is really small, like short, this is long, this is short, this is long. It was supposed to be a color correction, but after 2 washes, as you can see, the color, the original color is coming back. The roots are really black. It didn't stay copper, and I've had friends who dyed their hair copper or had a color correction from blonde to copper, and even if their hair grew out, it was still copper. So she was supposed to be a really good hairstylist for natural hair, but judging by what my hair ended up and the loss of edges, she wasn't. So I would not recommend anyone to go back to her. Anyway, I learned that some mini twists will be great because it's low maintenance, and I got some wigs that I can wear when I'm not wearing my natural hair out. So that's what we're gonna do today. So before I get started, I was told that you're supposed to part it and start with the bottom, like with braids at the beginning, and then twist, and then you start from there. So we're gonna start with that. The products that I'm using are a little different from the woman that I saw because I'm using the products that I have. And so I have the Auntie Jackie's, it's like a curl gel. What I like is it's an elongating gel, so I'm going to see how that works out. I also have my mousse, I think it's a dew mousse. A little bit of oil, and of course the oil that I'm using is Carol's Daughters, which I need because I need some strength back into this hair, and my water bottle. So let's get into it. So while I was in Spain, it started off lovely. It was great to see my great friend, and I hope that everything that I'm seeing is received with respect, because I would never disrespect my friend in that way. I'm just telling my story, and I love her to death, and I love her family, so I hope this is received as respect and not as disrespect. So when we got there, everything was fun. Well, not fun. We, settled in, and we had a plan of like what we were going to do, and we discussed like, places that we will look at for, possible living. The thing with that was she's also a doctor, and she has her own life, her family, and so she works 3 days a week, and so she has time. I mean, she doesn't really have that much time, but she had some time, so we figured we'll do a little bit of exploring. But and while I was there, we weren't able to because she was also redoing her home. And so while she was redoing her home, she was, caught up in the redecoration and getting things done. Also, while I was there, I felt like I wasn't able to be myself. Um, I wasn't able to go places on my own. And as an adult, it's kind of hard. Um, I got an international driver's permit just to rent a car, but the car rental services were expensive, and she wasn't into lending out her car, which I understand it's her car, and she didn't really want to lend it out. Um, and where she lives in San Pedro del Pinatar, there's no public transportation. There's like a little bus that goes to like neighboring cities, but it's not reliable, and it's just really inconvenient. It was also 90 degrees out there, and so it's 90 to 100 degrees. So going out was sometimes difficult by walking or trying to do public transportation because it was so hot and it didn't let up. So not only was I in a place where I couldn't move around and look for places, it was too hot. So going out was not ideal. Now, I was under the impression that she knew where to go and what to look for, and where we were going to go to fill out paperwork or look at paperwork or even look for jobs. And that was not the case. The place where you go to figure out like what paperwork is needed or what, it's like the government part of Murcia. It was closed until September. So I wouldn't have even been able to speak with anyone or figure out what I needed until September, and I was there in mid-June. Also, as far as like finding jobs and things like that, I would have had to resort to looking for a job online, only because there were not many job opportunities or work opportunities out there. And even with finding how to transfer over my PhD, she kept suggesting to just like start over. And I said, no, I'm not starting over. And a PhD is expensive in the United States. That's not something that I can do. I'm not going to work in anything. I'm going to utilize the degree that I worked really hard for. So as far as like work, there wasn't a lot of work opportunities or information or guidance on how to find work or transferring. So also being that I didn't have my own vehicle, going to look at places to live, we were able to one night just look on the phone to see what's available, but we didn't really get to visit any cities. We visited one city, but I was with her mom and her son, and we just went to go get something to eat. I didn't really get to explore or do what I needed to do. So it wasn't like anything that you should do when you're in a place that is unfamiliar to you, to look for work or look for a place to live, or if this is the place for you, wasn't available to me because I wasn't able to really navigate. And as you all know, well, those who've been following me on like social media and stuff, I'm currently unemployed. And so renting a car was just too expensive and not within my budget because I still have to pay my bills here in the United States and pay for me to, live while I was there. So renting a car was not within my budget. For those of you who's like, well, why didn't you just rent a car and go on your own? It just was not ideal for me because of my current circumstances. And so I relied heavily just on my phone, which we didn't really get to do much. So as far as like looking, I spent most of my time just focusing on the course that I wanted to take, that I am taking to move into the tech space. And I've just focused on my course, applied for jobs here in the US, and just really focused. For the most of my trip, I spent my time in a room. Once in a while we went out. As far as like the food goes, the restaurants are great, but like finding things that I wanted to eat and make were hard to do. And being able to cook and, make myself at home in her place was a little difficult. And it just was a different experience for me. And I was fortunate enough to be able to come home and settle things I need to settle here. with my place and finding a job, because being in Spain was not conducive. There was nothing there that I couldn't do when I was home. I felt like at home I had like a full life. And then I went line dancing, I did Pilates, I had friends, I was able to take walks every day and work out. And while I was there, I wasn't able to do any of those things. And I felt like I felt like I was slowly becoming depressed. It was depressing because I felt like I'm a grown woman. I'm living more like a child. My 40th birthday was there. I didn't really get to do what I wanted. We were supposed to go and, have drinks after eating, and that didn't really happen. I didn't really get like a 40th birthday. I just went out to eat. And I had to really like beg to get someone to come out with me to the beach earlier before dinner. So it wasn't an ideal 40th, which next year I'm going to do a first annual 40th birthday to make up for this birthday. But yeah, so it wasn't an ideal trip. No disrespect to my friend. I love her very much. It just, I wasn't able to get the information that I wanted. I wasn't able to do much. I spent a lot of it alone. Really sad, wanted to come home, and now I'm home. And everything will work out. There will be other videos to discuss like everything that has been going on in my life, but I'm typically I'm an ambivert, meaning where I'm shy, but I'm also an extrovert, right? I like to be around people. I like to have fun, but I also spend a lot of time hiding because I feel like people don't really care about like you and your well-being, and I'm just very mindful of what I share. And so I'm just going to spend these next few videos just telling you a little bit about me, like my quiet truths. So that's what happened in Spain. Not too much, just enough. I had a little bit of fun, but it was mostly quiet. I just relaxed. Something I could have done at home. And so it was a learning experience to not move so fast, right? Enjoy and be grateful for what you have, because I am very grateful for all that I have. The modern part of being here and living where I live and just having those luxuries. So I learned to be just more grateful in that aspect. So it was a learning experience. I got to see my friend. I know that Spain may not be the best place for me. It may in the future, but right now, the way my life currently is, it wouldn't be, unless I was like in a city and able to like freely navigate, then that would be the place for me. So that in a nutshell, that's what happened on my Spain trip. But I'm going to do a little more of these twists, and I'm going to get back to you and show you the outcome. So this is how it looks this far. I can't really see the back, but I will look at the video later. And now it's on to do the front. So this is how the hair looks now. I like oversaturated it with water and the product and stuff like that, but it looks healthier and not as dry as it did when I washed it in an avocado mask. I made like an avocado mask that made it like soft, but it's still dry. But now it just looks so much better. Again, it's uneven because my hair fell out in chunks, and I just wanted something that's low maintenance that I can put under these wigs or wear, just out when I don't feel like putting them on. But so far, I'm liking it. Let's see how it goes. So this is the finished product. Like after I diffused it, I add some oil to my scalp. I don't know how to style it yet. So this is what you got. But this is it. It's all different sizes. So I tried to do like a little half up, half down, but it did not look great. As I told you, the damage is so real. So this is just low maintenance to put under my wig, or if I want to step out the house and not do anything to my hair without messing it up. I'm gonna grow back these edges and see how this does, how this goes for the next like month or two with doing my hair like this, and see if it'll get healthy and grow back. Well, thank you for listening to my story and what happened with me in Spain. I'm looking forward to sharing more of my quiet truths with you guys and different things that I do, whether it's my hair or who knows. But I'm looking forward to sharing it all. Bye.